people who this narrative makes sense to immediately is generally like people who have been through persecution. So you gave the example of North Korea, like anyone who has like lived experience of persecution by any group or government or any party is like immediately like, oh yeah, anonymity and privacy is like a necessary defensive uh, like superstructure in an era of like data collection. So they like just like immediately get that, and that's where DarkFi is also. I hope we'll come to this later, but like using this metaphor of darkness because the dark is kind of the subterranean world of like the persecuted people, who use encryption as a kind of forest to protect themselves. And also it's like the dark is like we talked briefly, I think, about agorism, and agorism being the sum of all democratic black market activity. And I think Konkin, who is like the founder of agorism, he speaks a lot about drug markets and illegal market activity. And I think that's fair enough. But there's also another aspect to to black markets, which is not kind of considered as heavily by Konkin or discussed as much, which is like the informal markets of like the world at large. So like there is the Western world where we have a lot of like state sanctioned white markets, and then there is like the informal markets of like most of the humans on the planet, which like don't have aren't necessarily state sanctioned and are very agaric in nature. And the kind of global south, the black markets of the global south. And I think that's overlooked a lot by crypto people, and especially people who are asking like, what does but like why would I need crypto? Because I can just use PayPal. Or if they're saying why would I need privacy? Like I'm never going to be in trouble. But it's like actually when you start talking to people who are outside that bubble, they have immediately, they're like, oh yeah, of course. Like I spoke to one guy from Ethiopia, and he was like, he was saying like Africa is the most surveilled place in the world. Everyone's stealing our data. He's like, of course we need privacy and anonymity. Like and super interested in DarkFi. The same for like most persecuted people, or anyone who's been involved in these like the informal markets, like the agorist markets of the global south, which is of course like its own black market. And a big part of like the process of globalization is this kind of of trying to like reduce the black markets that are like these like natural markets of like informal markets, and try to hone them in and lock them down and liberalize and keep them within the universalist kind of globalist framework. So it's like this this pursuit, and how I see it as like the light, trying to come in and like shut down the darkness, like trying to so we're about emancipating the darkness. And so that's why we say let there be dark.